Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Try F podcast, where we try not to mess the podcast up. How are you guys today?
What's up, man?
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm great.
You're great? Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start off by trying to do a speed run here of Genesis 7. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, and thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep sin alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him, into the ark because of the waters of the flood. Of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in two and two unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth, in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken open, and the windows of heaven were opened. Now, last week...
Hey. Remember... No, hey. Okay, so remember last week we had a conversation about this, the Great Deep.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it actually says it in this.
Yeah.
So did we get any of that conversation aired?
Unfortunately...
Because that was pretty fun.
It's on the live only. We lost the after recording.
No, it wasn't that. It was that my audio was off. So all they were hearing was Cody's end, and then my end was completely blank. So they had no idea what I was saying, and since I talked the most, it was a lot of dead air. So,
did you want to go back through that about the source water and all that?
Yes. Go ahead and bring that up again. So tell us about the source water.
Okay. Well, it mentions the Great Deep, and so I something got me started on this snowball last week, and I don't remember what it was, but okay, so like source water in the beginning, like from the Great Deep, this water was more gel-like, right?
Right.
A higher viscosity. And so like there's a lot to this, but I'm just going to try to hit some key points. So like in your veins, there's what they call easy gel, and it makes your veins where they can easily pump blood. Because if you took a pump and put it in your chest and tried to pump all the way out to these fingertips, like you're going to blow out your vessels right here. So in your veins, there has to be this easy gel that helps everything kind of flow through.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, like the source water was that, I think. I mean, it's like the Earth's version of that. Okay.
Gotcha.
Like the older you get, the more your easy gel in your veins and stuff deteriorates. And same thing with the Earth. So, but like water is the oldest thing that we have in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Because it doesn't just get destroyed. It just changes forms and it recycles.
Right. Yeah. And
so our waters wore out, basically.
Yeah. Last week you were saying that there's like this pure, there's a pure version of water at the very deepest levels of the ocean. And because I guess the salt rises.
Deep.
Yeah, the Great Deep. And, basically...
Well, you can't make sense of this with the globe thing. So,
sure you can.
In Hebrew cosmology...
Why not?
Well, if you look at Hebrew cosmology, how they've got it drawn out, it's like the Great Deep is, like, under everything. Whereas, like, with the globe model, the middle of the Earth is, like, lava. So there can't be water there. There can't be source water there.
Well, see, I was under the impression there was a lot more groundwater at the beginning. See, because we talked last week about liquefaction. The fountains of the deep broke open. So that would indicate that what actually flooded the 40 days and 40 nights of rain was a consequence of something else. Like, it wasn't the cause of the flood. It was a secondary instance, probably produced by the fountains of the deep breaking open. A lot of water coming onto the surface of the earth at once. But whatever the case may be, basically whatever caused the flood was a seismic event. It was something like either something hit the earth and caused an earthquake, or an earthquake just happened for whatever reason. But basically, there was an earthquake. There was a fissure that broke open as a result of that earthquake, and then you had liquefaction, where the water, like all the water underground, shot up at the same time. And there's a theory in creationism called rapid plate tectonics that kind of explains how you start from like a Pangea-like planet to what we have today quickly, as opposed to millions of years. Like, there's a lot of different theories as to how it happened. But the idea is that, the Great Deep, I always understood it to be like the groundwater, like, the stuff under the earth, the water under the earth.
Yeah, but if you dig
a
a well right now that's 2,000 feet deep, you're still going to get shit water. You're not going to get source water.
That's true. But that wouldn't have been the case whenever the flood happened. So,
What's up, sweet baby Bronson? Thank you for being here.
What's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you.
I don't know if there's anything else on that.
That's an interesting idea, though. I hadn't thought about it. It made sense that there would be I found it intriguing, that there would be clean, pure water under the ocean at the deepest levels. I found that interesting.
Oh, that was something interesting. So at the bottom of trenches and stuff, we'll have two different kinds of water. Did you look into that?
I haven't looked into it, but I remember you bringing it up last week. So,
I mean, you've seen is it the Bering Sea that splits?
Marianas Trench?
No.
Is that what you're referring to? No.
There's a spot, I think it's the Bering Sea, where it's like brown water on one side and clear water on the other side, and they don't mix.
Oh, yes, I've seen pictures of that, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Let me look that up.
So same concept, but it's at the bottom of the ocean, you'll have this lake that you can't get through. It's pliable, you know what I mean?
Yeah, water not mixing. Let's see if I can pull that up. Stop it. I don't need your help, AI. Thank you. All right, so we got some pictures of it here. Come on. So, so you've got these two types of water here. Is this what you're referring to?
Yes.
Gulf of Alaska.
And they'll probably say it's because of salt content.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
You want me to start reading it?
If you want to, if you're interested in it.
Okay, yeah. A picture from the Gulf of Alaska that has been making the rounds on the internet for the last few years, though particularly in recent weeks, shows a strange natural phenomena that occurs when heavy sediment-laden water from glacial valleys and rivers pours into the open ocean. There in the Gulf, the two types of water run into each other, a light, almost electric blue merging with a darker slate blue. Informally dubbed the place where two oceans meet, the explanation for the photo is a simple one, though there are many misconceptions about it, including that catchy title. In particular, one popular link sharing a website, Reddit, where users have on multiple occasions erroneously attributed the photo's location as where the Baltic and North Sea meet, and the two types of water are completely incapable of ever mixing, instead perpetually butting up against each other like a boundary on a map. You also may have seen a variation on the photo featuring the same phenomena taken by photographer Kent Smith while on a July 2010 cruise in the Gulf of Alaska. That photo, too, has been circulating the web for some time, though the misconceptions about it seem to be less thanks to Smith's explanation of the photo on his Flickr page. That one has also been making the rounds on Reddit and social media for years and had racked up more than 800,060 views by early 2013 on that one page alone, Smith said.
So is it saying that it's a phenomenon that happens randomly?
I think they were saying, I don't think they've got to what they're explaining it to be just yet. Let me scan down here a little bit. So it looks like, let me just read this paragraph here. So those eddies often carry with them huge quantities of glacial sediment. thanks to rivers like Alaska's 286-mile-long Copper River, prized for its salmon and originated from the Copper Glacier far inland. It empties out east of Prince William Sound, carrying with it all the heavy clays and sediment, and with that sediment comes iron. So it sounds like basically the sediments are what causes that the waters not to mix, basically, which is what you were saying. Just different levels of sediment cause different types of water. So
Yeah.
that
All
makes
right.
sense.
Yeah.
So, all righty.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I think they say they found, lakes like that at the bottom of the ocean, and in my mind, that's it would make sense that that's what that is
Yeah, I believe it.
source water.
Yeah, I believe it. So, all right, are we ready to move on?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I gotta figure out where I'm at.
12. Verse 12.
12, okay. So 600, yeah. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And the selfsame day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wives, and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, and two of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth. And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both fowl, and of cattle, and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man. All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven. And they were destroyed from the earth, and Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. That's chapter 7. Any final thoughts?
I don't think so. What do you think about when it says God shut him in? What's that look like to you?
I think he shut the ark in. Basically, God shut the door to the ark.
Yeah,
It's like
I
a
get
supernatural
that.
event.
What does that look like to you?
Well, I don't know what you mean. Like, I'm just assuming God shut the door,
Like,
and
because it doesn't say anything about like an angel of the Lord closing the doors, or
I kind of
just
like
like-
how
what does that
well,
look
I
like?
mean, I guess from Noah's perspective, it'd probably look like the door just shutting on its own, and they would assume that was God
Fair.
doing it.
yeah, I kind
That's
of
kind of how I pictured it. So
the cartoon version of Prince of Egypt did. They had like a flood kind of hit the side of the boat, and it jolted the boat sideways almost, and it closed the door really fast like that.
Yeah,
okay,
that. All right, cool.
all right. Well, what do you think?
I don't know. I just like as a kid, I learned that it was like angels were sent to close the door up. But that's obviously an embellishment.
Well,
Yeah.
it was Nephilim. They ran up and closed doors real quick for him.
I don't know why they would do that.
I mean, God can make you do whatever he wants.
I was always under the impression that they were pretty. Of course, this is just inference. The Bible doesn't say it, but I was always under the impression that these people were like mocking Noah and all of that until it finally happened. So
They mocked him right up until the.
possibly, I mean, that was the
Started raining.
inference, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what
Maybe.
happened.
I mean, it could just be that, yeah, like they were mocking him and they locked him in. They were like, "Hi, you dumb bastard! You're gonna die in that boat, right?"
I just imagine Noah up in the boat. Hey, can y'all close the door for me?
Sure,
And they're
moron.
like, heck yeah. We want to see how you do this. Oh,
Yeah.
How long have you been smoking stoogies? For looks like you know what you're doing.
Wow, that's hateful.
I know, right? I don't know.
Ignore
Let's see.
him.
When did I start smoking?
I don't know.
I used to smoke a pipe before this, and then I tried to do an audiobook for the first time, and I got so stressed out I switched over to cigars. And
Everybody starts smoking to look cool, so don't feel special.
yeah, I guess. So, no, yeah, I'm trying to remember how long that was been though. I think that would have been 2018, 2019 to answer his question. So like, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, something like that. So yeah, and they don't look cool. They are cool. So, meh. Anyway. So, all right. Moving on. Chapter 8.
That guy must be a professional stogie sucker, if you know what I mean.
Ah, gotcha.
We're all
right.
professionals at something.
Right, there we go. So, chapter 8. And the Lord remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark, and God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. And the fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the earth continually, and after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. And
He
the
asked what kind it is in particular.
LFD. So I don't remember what that stands for, but double Ligero LFD. So
Nice.
So what kind is it in any particular you like? I'm a big fan of anything LFD. My favorite is Andalusian Bull. That's probably my favorite type of cigar. But they're too expensive, and I get priced out every so often. So they're like $20 a one. So I don't... There's no way to spend money like that. Yeah, there's no way to spend money like that and not feel guilty. So I don't do that very often.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I think LFD is probably my favorite brand of cigar. I like the most of their stuff. Yeah, I would recommend anything from LFD. Trying to think. My Father cigars are good. Brickhouse is good. Yeah, there's several brands. Brickhouse is a good solid one. I'd start with Brickhouse. So they're cheap and they're not a ludicrous size. So anyway, the reason I smoke a big cigar, if anybody even cares, is because even though it looks ridiculous, it's actually cheaper than buying the smaller ones. Because that thing looks big, but I'll be smoking it for like 6 hours. So when I get done here, I'm going to be editing the videos and everything like that. And, I basically spend 6 hours smoking one cigar. So it's just cheaper, frankly. But
I can't do that, man. I quit last week, but it was like I get tapped out on nicotine in like 15, 20 minutes, and so I want to put it out, and then it tastes like shit after that. So
Yeah.
it's weird. Man, I don't know if it's like something wrong with my palate or what, but I don't feel like they taste like crap. Like I don't mind letting them go out and then just smoking it sometime later.
yeah.
So some people are
I
definitely
have done it, but it's not it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just haven't noticed a difference, but they say there is one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, of course I can't help it. I get so OCD on the editing and all the little pedantic crap, I forget I'm smoking it. So yeah, that's kind of how that works. So
Yeah.
Anyway, what's next? Trevor, I'm lost. Help me, man.
I believe you were on 8.
I was on 8? Okay.
Or about to hit 8.
Are you sure?
Or 7.
I think it was 5, now that I'm looking.
Oh,
We'll start at 5.
Go back to 5 then.
And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month, and the 10th month on the first day of the 10th month were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and
hold
fro.
up.
Yes.
When it says the 10th month, does that say in the 10th month of Noah's 600th year?
I think it's saying the 10th month of the flood.
40 days is not 10 months, though.
Well, 40 days is when the rain, from what I understand, 40 days is when the rain was on the earth. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights, but the
Okay.
40 nights, but the flood lasted about like a year and a half.
Dang.
Yeah. So it was like the seismic event broke open the fountains of the deep. Something about that caused it to rain for 40 days and 40 nights. Then the rain cleared up, but the water that had come up from the ground stayed on the earth for like a year and a half.
Where did it
That's
go
the way
after?
I understand that. Well, according to the rapid plate tectonics theory, it was like moving in and out on the continents. And then finally, once everything kind of slowed down, it formed into the oceans, if that makes any sense.
So there was no ocean before?
If there was, it wasn't as big, from what I understand. Like the way, of course, it's just one theory. Like there's also the canopy theory. There's the idea that the comet hit the Earth. There's a lot of like different theories about how it was done. According to the plate tectonics theory, there was basically a Pangea-like continent that got fractured. And during that time, basically the continents are moving apart very quickly, and then they start to slow down. But during all that period, the water's kind of churning in and out, and, you know, kind of, it's like a tidal wave, like a bunch of tidal waves, you know what I mean? It would like swoop in, wipe everything out, then get sucked back out into the ocean and kind of back and forth, and while the plates are getting recycled quickly. It's like the way it was described was like a dinner plate being flipped. Like if you put a dinner plate on top of the sink full of water, and then you tilt the edge of that plate under the water, what'll happen is that plate will get sucked into the bottom of the sink. It's like that kind of phenomena is what they said might have happened. I don't know. I just know that they posited it, and then a computer model in Japan said it was plausible. That's about all I know about it, but that's one theory. And then Hovind's is a little different. Trevor, do you remember how Hovind's canopy theory and the comet went? Because that didn't have plate tectonics. That was a wholly different thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was a firmament, but it's broken now. So
Yeah, there
the
was
Earth's a globe all of a sudden.
And when
Yeah.
the fountains of the deep broke open, it shot. The pressure was so high it shot parts of Earth out into space.
Uh-huh.
And that's how you get the moon crevices, because it shot them so far. And then they came back.
Yeah, I think if I remember, is that Hovind's or is that somebody else? It seems like there was somebody else that he wrote a book called In the Beginning, but I don't remember the author's name. I think you're talking about his theory, not Hovind's theory.
Oh,
Who was that guy? Let me look that
I
up.
don't remember.
Uh,
I have to look it up.
Creation book. If I can spell, that would be great. Creation book, In the Beginning. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the Bible story. I'm talking about the book.
You're not talking about Unger Dryas, are you?
I have no idea. I don't remember the author's name. I think it's maybe Wallace? Stephen J. Wallace?
I don't have a clue.
I don't remember. We'd have to look up Hovind's stuff again. I think the way Hovind's theory went is that a comet smashed into the canopy, and then that canopy collapsed, and that was what caused the rain for 40 days. And all the excessive
What was keeping the water up?
Huh?
What was keeping the water up in a firmament shape?
Well, presumably, like it was kind of like Saturn's rings, like it was high enough that it was kind of just circulating over the Earth, and then the comet came in and smashed it or something.
Oh, busted the cherry, huh?
Yeah, well, it has some plausibility. The big thing about it is the mammoths and a lot of the creatures that have been found, like in the north, like they're uncovered with like green plant matter in their stomachs, which is telling because, you know, hydrochloric acid doesn't know you're dead. So whatever hit them or buried them had to freeze them solid within a couple hours. And there's no temperature on Earth that could have done that. I mean, you're talking negative 200s Fahrenheit. So that's kind of why they think it was like a comet or there was like a canopy or something. There had to be something in space that came down and buried them, is the idea. Because they can't figure out how in the world you freeze a woolly mammoth quickly enough for the plant matter to not break down in its stomach.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the idea. Also, the other thing with the canopy theory is a lot of people buy into it because the dinosaurs' nostrils are too small. Like, you can't get animals that big with the kind of nostrils that they have. So you had to have, like, higher air pressure and higher oxygen content. So something had to be, like, trapping the air, you know? So, you know, I think it's got there's some plausibility to it. I don't know what happened.
You know why dinosaurs' nostrils are too small?
Why is that?
Because they made up dinosaurs and they designed them after birds.
I've wondered if, like, they're actually all just birds. And they're just like, no, it's scales, not feathers. Shut up. I've wondered that. But anyway, yeah, they can't breathe in today's climate. So that's the idea. I don't know. I just know evolution's ridiculous, and it's sillier than all those theories put together. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah, I couldn't find the book we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to find it at some point because it's just called In the Beginning, and Hovind references it constantly.
Yeah, it's in Hovind's seminar 6.
Is it 6 or 1? Because he's got 7.
Yeah, it says 6.
Maybe
when I was
both.
looking
I'd
at
imagine it'd be
this.
both. In 6,
yeah.
okay. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's see. I think we got through 2 verses that time.
Sorry, it's my fault.
No, you're good. You're good. That's why we're doing this. It's, go slow.
Questions are good.
Yeah. And, we need to kind of make up for screwing up last week. So
Yeah,
which I screwed up. It wasn't an us thing. That was me.
Yeah, I've been listening as much as I can. So
yeah.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Yeah, OBS says it's good this time. So, all right, let's see. We were at the 10th month. First day of the month were the tops. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. And the 10th month on the first day of the month were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. And the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her and pulled her in unto him into the ark. Now last week we mentioned that was a nautical practice. When they were looking for land, they'd send out birds. They'd keep birds on the ship, and then they'd send the birds out, and if the birds came back, they knew land wasn't close. And so that was something they did at that time. It's like a historical practice, which tends to suggest this isn't an allegory. Or is it meant? Yeah, it's not an allegory. So, and he stayed yet another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark.
You're not sharing the Bible on the...
Oh, am I not? Dad,
live stream.
blame it. Oh, your producer's an idiot. Okay, it's all right. And the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off, so Noah knew that the waters were abated off the earth. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass in the 600th and first year, in the first month, in the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the second month, on the 7th and 20th day of the month, was the earth dried. Now, all these dates are kind of telling, because again, if this was like an allegory or some kind of poetic narrative, why would you be mentioning the dates?
How long does it take an olive tree to grow?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, was it Moses that was writing all this down? Or was it someone else?
There's debate about that. Like it could have been Moses. It could have been Joseph's son who was like collecting like stories from the Jewish people before they went to Egypt and wrote them down. Because I believe the tradition is that Joseph's son invented the Hebrew language. So it's like they invented the language and then they started compiling this stuff like shortly before they left or something like that. There's Titus Kennedy speculates on that some. So it might, like, the thing about Genesis is that from what I understand, it's got like multiple authors.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I can't remember who it was, but you remember that Professor Jing, that guy I send you sometimes?
I'm sorry.
He's like a Chinese professor.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So he talks about this, and he says, I can't remember her name, but there's a girl that allegedly wrote all 5 books of the Torah. I can't remember her name. She was like a queen or something, like Sumerian days.
Why does he think that? Why does he say that?
I mean, if I would know her name if I knew the material better, bud.
Yeah, we'd have to, because I mean, I obviously would think it was Moses and some people from earlier that wrote Genesis, but
yeah,
I mean,
it's all like it's the same line of thinking that goes along with the monad and Yahweh being the what's it called? The antagonist. I can't remember what it's called.
I don't know what you're referring to, so I can't help you.
It's like the nihilistic view, where Yahweh is Yahweh's Satan basically, but the monad is the source energy, and it like created the earth, and then
I haven't heard this.
Like when Yahweh's a octopus thing.
Is this kind of trying to conflate Jewish tradition with like some weird pagan thing? They're trying to say they're like the same deal.
I don't know. It's a theology that I've heard. I guess you haven't heard it.
I haven't heard it. My exposure is Bart Ehrman saying like some weird Greek story where the girl has birth to a kid, then there's a lightning strike and a bunch of swans, and somehow that's equivalent to Christ being born. Like just weird crap like that, you know? Like, okay, buddy, whatever. So
yeah.
So it sounds kind of like more of the same, more of that, where they try to equivocate the stories. But
it's like the view that Earth is a holding place. It's like a trap, and you have to get out of it.
How do you get out of it?
Like a demigorgon that rules the world. You know,
like a demiurge. That's
demiurge. That's the word I was looking for.
That's Gnosticism. There's the demiurge.
Okay, so that goes along with all that monad, all that he was talking about.
Well, Gnosticism's way later. Like, I don't know what he's referring to, but Gnosticism is the idea that God created spirit and everything spirit is good, and then the demiurge created matter and everything matter is bad.
Right.
So that's New Testament times. John refutes that. Like 1 John, 2 John, 3 John. The false prophets and antichrist figures he's referring to are the Gnostics. So that's a different time frame, but I don't know what the other guy's talking about. But
so is that
I don't know. I'll listen to it again. Maybe use my words better next time.
No, you're good. What were you gonna say, Trevor?
So is that what someone means when they say they're agnostic or something like that?
No.
Or Gnostic.
No. Agnostic is I'm not sure. It's like I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of a different thing. So all right.
Agnostic is I don't know, and Gnostic is I do know.
Yeah. You're probably right. Like they probably like had some term where it's like we're the truth, or something like that. Like
Well, Gnostic means knowledge. I mean, it's just but you can't know everything. You can't. As soon as you think you know something, you're wrong.
That's why I know nothing, Jon Snow.
Right. Okay, so... All right, let's see. ground was dry. And in the second month, and on the 7th and 20th day of the month, and the earth was the earth dried. And God spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with them. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth after their kinds went forth out of the ark.
Thank you, Sad Sands.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Noah, that's Demi's, her YouTube channel. She built a YouTube channel, and she's 7.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't know how she figured it out, but she did. So, and Noah builded on an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. And that is chapter 8.
Nice. Well done.
All right. And we got chapter 9, and then we're on to the next thing. If this thing won't, it's lagging on me. Hang on.
Lagging. Every day I'm lagging it.
All right. So thoughts on 8, gentlemen. I need to get a drink because my voice is going.
Thoughts and things.
I have no thoughts on 8. I have no thoughts on 8.
You have no thoughts on 8.
Nope.
I will say this. I can see, although I'm not saying I agree with it, but I can see the creation story being read as an allegory. I don't know how you see the flood being read as an allegory. Given the way the details are written, I think you're supposed to take it as a literal account. I don't see how you don't. I mean, it doesn't strike. Like, if you look at Genesis 1, you got evening and morning on the first day, evening and morning. Like, you have repetitions. You have some kind of, like, Adam's name literally means man. There's, like, things that would make you suspect, okay, this might be an abbreviation of a different time or something like that. Possibly. I mean, it might be literal, but the repetition and the way that it's written makes it possible that it might not be. This, however, the dimensions of the ark, the nautical practices they used, the time frame that's given, those are all things that, to me, suggest this is meant to be read literally, in my opinion.
Why do you think the flood happened? What do you think was, like, literally going on? What does it mean that all flesh was corrupted?
Well, I've heard that the Nephilim and different ones were doing, like, genetic testing and altering man's DNA. I don't know if I buy that, but I heard it. I don't buy it, actually, but it's an interesting idea.
So what would you believe? What does all flesh corrupted mean?
I think they were killing each other en masse. I think it was like, this is just my opinion. I don't have any particular biblical evidence for it, but I think it was kind of like with the Canaanites, where they're sacrificing babies and all this horrible stuff to pagan entities. And I think it just got to a point where God was like, I got to start over. I just think they were exceptionally evil and, like, genocidal. I mean, that's what I believe. What do you think?
I think they were all minotaurs and shit.
Like they were all chimeras?
Yeah.
I've heard that.
I mean, it says all flesh was corrupted, and I can't think of any other way to think about that except genetically.
Genetically modified in some way, shape, or form.
What do you think, Trevor?
I think there were, too many demons walking around in bodies.
But that didn't stop, did it?
No, it didn't stop. But anyways.
All right. It's an interesting idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have to. I
think-
would have to hear like why people think that. I don't personally think it. I think corrupted means sinful.
Like,
Like corrupted spiritually. But
Yeah, but it says flesh. It doesn't say spirit.
well, flesh
All
would be
flesh
like a
was
synonym
corrupted.
for man. Like flesh would be like flesh as in men, things that breathe. Flesh was.
Right.
I don't think it necessarily means physical bodies. I think it's like nomenclature
We
for
just said it's
humanity.
not allegory.
Well, yes, but that does okay. An allegory is like something that's a poetic narrative that's like either abbreviating something. It's like a larger tale that's talking about a broader event or something like that. That's what I mean. I might not be using the correct term, allegory, but that's what I mean. Like a poetic narrative that's abbreviating a period of time. That doesn't mean they can't use nomenclature or like common phrases. You know what I mean? Like hyperbolic phrases or. Trying to think of a good example, but like when somebody says "I'll kill you," they don't literally mean "I'll kill you." You know what I mean? It means I'm mad. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of terminology. To say the flesh is like a saying for people. You know what I'm saying?
You think the Bible's going to make a slip? Just be like, yeah, we mean spirit, but let's say flesh.
Yeah, I think it depends on what the nomenclature of the
Oh,
time
come on, man.
was. It depends on how it depends on how
Flesh
they referenced
means
people
flesh.
at the time.
All throughout the Bible.
I don't think
There's
it
no
literally means
differentiation on that
skin. It
word.
means living thing. It doesn't
No,
mean
flesh
like
means
skin.
Body parts,
No,
like
you're
cells.
reading a modern definition. That's not what they meant. It's like a war between the spirit and the flesh. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
literal body. No,
Yes,
because
it does.
no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because that's like Gnosticism, and God is not going to make things corrupted. Things can distort, things can become evil, but flesh
Right.
is not inherently evil because it is flesh. God made it,
It is
so it
after
isn't
it's
going to
genetically
start.
modified.
Yes, well, let's explore that. I don't think just because
mean,
something's
like, if you-
genetically
if you mix-
modified means it's evil.
If you mix a person and a deer, that's not a person. That's corrupted.
Well, how do you
need to
know?
put it in the ground,
Maybe Bambi's sentient.
bro. You're wild.
Well, okay.
unicorns were pure.
Okay, so you think that, like, if you were able to, like, make a chimera, some animal-human hybrid, that the humanity would be lost?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I don't think so. I don't think that humanity's in the mind. It's your ability to be self-aware. I don't
Yeah,
know
but
why
if
you
you
would
have-
lose that as an animal, just because you're, like, look
If
different.
you have antlers growing out of your head and you have deer legs, that might affect your image a little bit.
I think you're going to be a little shy. Maybe a little
Yeah,
insecure.
definitely a little shy.
But that doesn't mean you're not going to
A
be
little insecure.
sentient.
Oh my god.
Now we're in fantasy land.
we're trying. Yeah, we're trying to decide if Mr. Tumnus was technically a human being. So, well, what do you
No,
think,
put him
Trevor?
down. Put him down.
Put him down.
What do I think about what?
What do you think about the genocide of Mr. Tumnus and all fawns?
Was it all just mean people in Genesis? Was it just mean, hateful people? Or were there...
I think
corrupted
that's a
beings?
little reductive. I mean, I think killing babies is a little worse than just being mean.
Yeah.
I think they were very evil people. Yeah. I think they were extremely evil and spiritually, like, bent, malicious. Like, they hurt people for pleasure.
I
Like
mean, you
that
can
kind
say
of
that,
stuff.
but it says flesh. It doesn't say spiritually
Yes, but
corrupted.
flesh means living beings. It doesn't mean skin.
Look it up in your Webster's there. What's flesh
Why would I
mean?
look up a biblical nomenclature out in Webster's?
You just
Or
said
Strong's.
Genesis wasn't allegory, it was literal.
Yes, but why did I say it was literal?
Because
Because it's in a book.
the bird practices and the,
Yes, it gives indications that there was a literal situation.
right.
That
So when they
occurred.
literally say all flesh was corrupted, they
But
mean
that
literally
doesn't
all
mean they're
flesh
not
was
going to
corrupted.
use terminology unique to that time that's a shorthand. They're, like flesh being all living beings or whatever. That could be just how
All
they
right, so
referred
what
to
does
people
flesh
who were
mean in
living. Huh?
What's flesh mean in Hebrew? Trevor, get after it.
Do we need to get the Strongs? We need to get the Strongs out? Okay.
What does
We can get the
flesh
Strongs out. That's fine.
mean in Hebrew?
See, what was that? What verse was that? Do we remember? All flesh was corrupted.
I don't know.
Hang on here.
I think it's back in like 4 or 5, isn't it?
I think it might have been in 7.
Oh yeah, it's got to be after 6.
Okay.
Because Genesis 6 is the Nephilim stuff.
Oh.
We have a conspiracy.
In Strong's Concordance, the term flesh is defined as flesh from its freshness, by extension, body, person, and also euphemistically the pudenda of a man. It is used in various contexts, including animals and humans, and is often associated with freshness, body, and kinship.
Yes.
The term is found in numerous biblical verses reflecting its significance in the Hebrew language and its usage in Scripture.
I got an example for you, Cody. If you look here in Genesis 15, and they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. Skin does not breathe, so flesh wherein is the breath of life means a living being. The breath of life, an organism. Flesh means like organism, where there is the breath of life, like living organism.
Right. The breath of life is the spirit that animates the flesh.
Right. Skin in and of itself doesn't have a spirit. It's talking about living bodies, creatures, organisms.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
So we all agree.
Bodies. Flesh.
No.
Flesh of my flesh, right?
The breath of life is spirit. That's spirit. Breath is spirit.
Yes, we agree on that. I'm just saying they were corrupted in a spiritual sense, not a physical sense.
But it says in a fleshly sense.
No, it says that they were corrupted. It doesn't mean the skin was corrupted. It doesn't mean the body was corrupted. It means
says all
that there's
flesh was corrupted.
Yes, but flesh means organisms. So it literally means all organisms were corrupted.
So was Noah an organism?
Yes.
So not all flesh was.
Well, that gets into a different conversation about nomenclature. When you say all, do you literally mean all? It's like, no, that means like kill them all. It doesn't literally mean like every last single person. It means destroy the area or destroy the region.
I don't know.
It's generalizing.
Literal in
it's
the
generalizing.
story a lot. In the story a lot. He said, I mean, it's very specific. It says not one good soul, not one good, or whatever it says.
But there were good souls in there.
There wasn't.
There were 10. Remember? The countdown went down to 10. And it was only Lot and his family that were spared. So it was like 4.
He wasn't in the city, though.
Yeah, they got him out because they got him out because they didn't want to kill like the one good group of people there.
I'm saying,
okay,
it's very specific when it comes to that story. When it says all flesh, like it says like 4 times.
But that
like,
doesn't
all
necessarily.
Of them are bad?
You're assuming the corruption is physical. I'm saying the corruption is spiritual. It wasn't physical. Like, you could be right. I just don't know why people think that.
I mean, I think it would be very easy to make that distinction in that verse, and I feel like they did the best they could. I mean, they said flesh. They didn't say breath. They didn't say spirit. They didn't say whatever. They said flesh. That's the word that they used to describe the body in the Bible.
Let me see if we can find this verse that we're talking about here, because I thought it was 7, but it doesn't look like it was.
It might be before because it's pretexting. It's like leading up to the flood. It's like saying all the flesh is corrupted, so we need to have a flood. But I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything?
Yeah, hang on. I'm just trying to find. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is my argument. I think the reason that it says it's talking about a spiritual corruption, hang on a minute, is because here it says, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So that's describing a spiritual condition. That's in 5. And then in 12, it says, and God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. So that would be like his actions. That would be his behavior. You know?
All flesh had corrupted his way, his will.
Yeah.
Is a spiritual endeavor.
So we, as humankind, took his way and went.
That's what we do every day, buddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
But hey, you know, they part of that evil could have been making chimeras and stuff. I'm not saying they didn't exist. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know,
And Bigfoots.
I mean that there it is. I'll give it this. There's a lot of like archaeological drawings and stuff like depicting chimeras and stuff, and you kind of have to wonder why.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's a little weird. So it's possible.
Who knows? Maybe I'm completely wrong, and everything's been normal. Everybody's been 6 foot tall forever.
We're all completely wrong at some point.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what life was like back then. I have no clue. I couldn't tell you.
We'll find out one day.
No, I think the idea of chimeras is interesting.
Yeah.
And I do think that it's possible to do that sort of thing. But I don't know.
It's been done.
They say it's been done. We're getting into, the conspiracies and such, but yeah.
I mean, you've heard of the Liger.
From
The
Napoleon
Liger.
Dynamite, but yes, I have heard of the Liger. So.
Oh, it's a real thing, though.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
There's
Look
one
into
in
it.
a zoo
Like-
somewhere.
If so there's a certain gene. It's carried by the male in. It's been so long since I've looked at this stuff. So lions and tigers each, like the male tiger doesn't have like a switch to tell it to stop growing, right? And so they breed but neither does the female lion or something like that. So they breed them together, and it just like continually grows
Really?
forever. Right? Yeah.
Huh. That's fine. I'll have to look into that. Yeah. I heard a crazy
into it.
one. I heard a
'Cause I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that's interesting. I heard a crazy idea that, or at least a theory that, or a claim, I should say, that they've got goats that milk spider silk.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't know if that one's real or not.
I don't know either, but that's kind of nuts to think about.
Yeah.
So.
But like the Tasmanian devil, you remember that one?
Like I know of the Tasmanian devil, but it's
That
a
was a
chimera?
real thing. Yeah.
Huh.
Tasmanian. It was like a hyena kind of, I think.
Yeah, I knew that there
But it
was
had
one.
like this giant freaking jaw.
Is this like a different Tasmanian devil, like distinct from the ones that are alive now in Madagascar? Was it Is it Madagascar?
I don't know. I didn't know there was ones alive in that.
Yeah, there's like these little black ones, these little black things called Tasmanian devils that are
I don't
really
know, man.
vicious and stuff.
The goats producing spider silk is genetically modified.
Is it actually a thing?
It's actually a thing.
Really?
Researchers at the University of Wyoming.
Huh. Your taxpayer dollars at work, folks.
Right. USAID funded this project.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, I think it's definitely plausible that that was the case, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You're the case.
Are we ready to move on, boys?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Chapter 9.
And
Are
God.
we gonna start a new separate them, or just keep rolling with the same one?
We're gonna get through 9, and then we'll start 10 next week. So we're kind of like meshing 2 weeks together.
Okay.
So at least I
That's my
think,
question.
unless I screwed up my count somehow, which I might have. But anyway,
That's all right.
And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon the fowl of the air, every fowl of the air, and all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood...
Hang on.
Pause.
So he's saying that before that, you could eat raw meat. That's what that says.
You might be right. I
As
don't
long
know.
as-
I'm going to be honest.
As
I
long as
kind
it
of got
was a
confused.
clean animal, because it did differentiate between clean and unclean when they were talking about the boat. So there was
Yeah.
clean and unclean animals,
Yeah.
but this contract didn't come till after the flood. So before the flood, you could eat raw meat.
Yeah, just
Possibly.
to survive and whatnot. Yes.
I got a little lost, so I'll take you guys as words for it. I'd have to look at it. Let's see. And surely blood of everyone shall be meat for you, as the green herb have I given you all things. See, I was under the impression that they were vegetarians before the flood,
That's entirely possible.
and that this is like a qualifier that you can eat meat, but you got to get rid of the blood. You got to get the blood out of it.
Entirely possible.
Yeah, that's the way I understood it. But anyway, Trevor, what do you think?
But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. I think it means you don't want to eat the life of the being that you're eating.
So you don't
Like,
want to drink. You don't want to eat the blood.
You don't want to drink their blood, because then you'll take on their life. Their
New theory.
Go for it.
All flesh before the flood were vampires. They were all vampires.
Dun dun dun.
All of them.
It's all coming together.
So Noah was a vampire,
No, it wasn't.
and he was cleansed
Ah,
during
yes.
the flood.
With the rains of the flood.
I don't know. We're gonna get in trouble with somebody.
With
So
heresy, burn it down.
riot is a very terrible thing, and I say we ought to have one. So all right, let's see. We're okay. 7. Okay. Okay, no, we need to finish 6. Whoso, oh, you're good. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For the image of God made he man. And you, be ye fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. And God spake unto Noah and to his sons with them, saying, And I, behold, establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you, neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood, neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, This is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh.
So he's talking about the rainbow.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we talked a little bit about
original-
this last week.
Mhm.
Yeah, we started in on it.
Yeah, we mentioned that
Because
this is the first unconditional covenant.
Yeah,
So,
and it's a literal signifier of his promise, because
right.
like before that, moisture couldn't mix with the air, maybe. like the water was too dense to mix with the air, so it couldn't create a rainbow.
Yeah, we talked something like that last week. Yeah, something to do with the environment made a rainbow impossible. Something about the old environment made a rainbow impossible, and now
Right.
And
rainbow
there's a
signifies-
That's what got me into the source water thing last week.
Yeah. So, sorry, Trevor, were you gonna say something?
There's a pot of gold at the end of each rainbow.
That is not true at all. I have found the
No.
end of a rainbow. It was a letdown.
Oh,
All right. And God said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. I think that's right. That's where we should be. Okay.
there's that word again, flesh.
Yeah. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth, and Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants, shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years, and all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. So I was wrong. We actually did cover this chapter last week. Do we want to go
we did.
ahead, or do we want to stop here?
I
There you
feel
go.
it's-
My phone's at 20% though, so this might be a short night for me.
Okay. So I didn't hear it. You want to go ahead, Trevor?
I was gonna say let's skip on to the
Oh,
next
skip on to
subject.
the next one? Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, Greg had some comments about that. I don't remember what.
Yeah,
They might have said
saw.
somebody said that saw the nakedness of his father. Might have been an allegory for him having like relations with his wife or something.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Somebody had
Part of the whole
mentioned that. I don't
conversation.
remember who mentioned that, but that's just some food for thought. Might have just been, Bottom line though was the younger brother was disrespectful and got punished for it. So.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big curse.
Mhm.
Just saying. You had to do something pretty bad.
Yes, yes, indeed. So.
I mean, Canaanites are still cursed to this day. That's rough.
Yep. All right. I think we're done then. So if you are on the live stream, stay with us. We've got 2 more segments left. If you are watching this after the fact, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Doses.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.